Hey guys, this is Jimmy from Primer is Best, and I'm in the house because I'm not doing a video on the porch like I normally do because it's snowing and ice. So trying to be careful with my old bones, my my old knees. I was going to talk to you for just a few minutes, uh, about my 1978 Chevy C10 truck I used to own that went by the name of Old Dookie. Old Dookie. You're probably asking yourself, well, why does the truck have the name of Old Dookie? Well, it's because everybody said it. Uh, okay. Well, everybody said it looked like crap, and I won't use the right word that they used. They used another word. I'll let your imagination roam. But Old Dookie was as close as I could get to that word without actually saying it. Old Dookie, everybody said it just looked like an old bad truck. But I had the most fun out of that truck. Man, what a good truck. I'll tell you how I got the truck. It's kind of interesting, or it is to me. It's because a guy I worked with and years ago, he was telling me, we have a mutual friend, and he said, well, I just use his first name. He said, David's got another truck. And I said, what'd he get? And he said, a 1978 Chevy C10 truck. And I said, oh boy. I said, what's it look like? And he said, well, it looks bad. Said, it looks like, he said, but it had a LS motor in it and had the transmission and the wiring harness and all that. He said he bought the truck just to get that. And I said, well, what's he going to do with the rest of the truck? And he said he's taking it to the junkyard in a day or two. As soon as he gets all that yanked out of the truck to the junkyard. So I called David when I got off work and said, hey, David, you know, this is Jimmy. And I said, our mutual friend was telling me that you had a truck that you's taking the LS motor and stuff out and the transmission, wiring harness and all that. I said, I'd be interested in the rest of the truck when you get to that point. And he said, Jimmy, you don't want this truck. Because he knows I have a sickness or a disease or something. I'm always trying to save something from going to Scrapyard. And I said, yeah. I said, send me some pictures, because he lived a long way from me. And it wasn't feasible for me to really go over there and look at it. So he sent me some pictures on the phone, and I called him back and I said, I want it. And he said, Jimmy, you do not want this truck. It's in sad shape. It's bad. It's real bad. Said, you don't want it. He said, I know you like to fix up old trucks, but he said, you don't want this truck. Trust me. I didn't trust him. I finally talked him into selling me the truck. And I think I give I want to say $700 for it, maybe $800 for the truck with no motor or transmission. It had some steel wheels on it with some dog dish hubcaps on Maypop tires. Every time I buy an old truck, it's got Maypops on it, which means they may pop at any time. Maypops, popular brand here around here. But yeah, it's anyway. I asked my buddy, GM1038, his name is Brian, on YouTube. I had the truck. I think Brian and his dad went to go get it. I paid them to go get it. They had a trailer, yeah, and they went to go get the truck, him and his dad, Charlie. Now, Charlie has a channel too called C. Waller, C. Waller, Waller. Check out his channel too, please. And GM1038. They went and picked up the truck and brought it to their garage. Well, in the meantime, I had a buddy I worked with, and he was working on a 71 Nova. And he was pulling the 307 out as a two-door car, gold in color, beautiful. It's beautiful now, it wasn't then, but he said, Jimmy, I said, what you gonna do with that old 307 and 350 turbo transmission? He said nothing. Said it's just junk. And anyway, he wound up making this story short. He sold me the motor and transmission for like $200-300, 400, whatever, both of them. And but he said, Jimmy, he said that motor is wore out. It's a 307 2-barrel. He said it. I said, did it run good? He said, yeah, it run good. But he said the old motor's just wore out. It's tired. It's wore out. I said, I'll take it. So had the 307 and the 350 turbo. Took it over to Brian and his dad Charlie, and soon as Brian and Charlie got the truck, they both, well, Charlie did. Charlie called me, and Brian called me afterwards. Trying to remember this story, it's pretty funny. But they said, Jimmy, do not put any money into this truck. It's not worth it. It's a lost cause. It's not worth it. I know you like fixing up old cars and old trucks that nobody else wants, but they said, please, don't put this old wore out 307 and 350 turbo in it. It's not worth it. It's not worth fixing. It needs to be hauled off. So I didn't listen. I said, please, I'll pay you. Just put the motor and transmission in. Work on the brakes if it needs worked on. Just anything mechanically, it might need. Don't go extravagant. If it needs a radiator, put a radiator. If it needs master cylinder, put a master cylinder, whatever. But, just don't go overboard. It's an ugly old truck. I know it is. But I said, I got to save it from going to scrap. So they did. They put the 307 in, the 350 turbo, and that old truck run good. I mean, the 307 was tired. It didn't use oil or anything, or have smoke or anything like that. It's just tired. You could tell it was tired. Had a lot of use, had a lot of miles on it, and but the transmission shifted great too. So they finally got the motor and transmission in, and I'm sorry I don't have any pictures of it when I first got it, but after I got it home, I found a set of better wheels and tires for it. 15x8 Corvette Rally looking wheels, and 15x7 on the front, I think is what it was. Yeah. And with 5-on-5 bolt pattern. It had better tires. I mean, it wasn't real good tires, but they's better than what I had Maypops before. So put those wheels and tires on it, and man, I really like that old truck. Just look at the pictures very carefully, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Trying to think. The seat was terrible. So I had Angie Dixon, Tim Dixon's wife, Angie. She's on Facebook if you type in Gas Axe Girl Friday. Gas Axe Girl Friday. And Tim is on Facebook, Gas Axe Chop Shop. That's his wife, Angie. And she redone the seat for me. And if you look at the pictures closely, you'll see where the seat goes from being a bad looking seat, wore out seat, to a good looking seat. Man, that thing rode like a Cadillac. The dash was terrible on it. My wife and I put a Chevrolet dash cover on it. And the steering wheel, when I got it, was all broke to pieces. I mean, the truck was in sad shape. So I got a black steering wheel and stuck on it. And after a while, I went to the junkyard and I found a red one. So it matched the seat and the dash really well. So I put it on, with the bow tie center. And you'll see it in the pictures. Just kind of look at them there if you would. Had some holes in the floorboard. I got some old license plates and screwed them in. Yeah, I screwed them in. Just to... I don't know why, but I had so much fun with that truck. I mean, just covering up holes. It was a terrible... It was a bad looking old truck. Now, the truck was originally, like I said, a long bed, but it was silver and maroon. But somebody cut it down, and they done a good job. I have a video me crawling up and under it and showing you how well a job it was done on it. They done exactly like I would have done it. Exactly. Cut the frame, measured it, cut it, welded it, put a diamond plate, in between the frame rails, where it's kind of got that C. They put a diamond piece of metal in there and welded it all the way around. That's exactly the way I would do it. I do know how to weld, by the way. So, see what else? I don't think I put exhaust on it. It had some old cherry bombs on it, and it was fine. I didn't put a whole lot into the old truck. Oh, I got a piece of metal from Tim Dixon at Gas X Chop Shop for the bed floor. That's right. And, had the wiring worked on a little bit, got tail lights on it and, got the headlights working, wipers worked, heater worked. I think I had a new heater motor and maybe a heater core put on it. I drove it back and forth to work a lot, and, it's just a good old truck. I mean, wasn't fast, nothing like that. And, but it's just a good old truck. I mean, you can just jump in it and take off and not worry about nothing. I mean, I don't know why, for some reason, that old truck, I mean, I've had some really nice trucks, really good mechanical shape, all new front end and everything, but that old truck, I mean, I just wasn't scared to go anywhere in it, and I did. I went everywhere in it. My wife, one year for Father's Day, if you look at the door, it says Larney's Lawn Care Service. She, trying to remember everything that was said. Oh, you grow it, we mow it. My wife done the lettering and stuff on that for me. She can write much better than I can. And she done that for me for Father's Day. And boy, I was tickled to death. And just to know, made it look like as a lawn care truck, like going around mowing yards and stuff. And on the back fender, I wound up putting, let's see, what did I say? Grass, weeds and grass is what we know, or something like that. I'll have to look at the pictures again. But anyway, just look at the pictures. I done that myself. It took me about all day. I was trying to space it out just right, but didn't matter. And the funny thing is, Brian, GM 1038, him and I were going somewhere in it. And I said, Brian, you drive this old truck. And he drove it, and we was going through town. We got caught at a red light, and this lady rolled down her window. It was summertime, and rolled down her window, power window on her side, and she said, do y'all mow yards? And we both said, no, ma'am, we don't mow yards. Or I think that's what we said. We didn't mow yards, or we might have said we're covered up, can't take on anymore or something. It's just a old fun truck. Oh my goodness. And anyway, I put a chrome bumper on it with bumper guards. Found a used, chrome bumper and bumper guards. Trying to jazz it up a little bit. I think I put door mirrors on it, and had no radio put in it. Yeah, it worked, but it wasn't much. Just an old cheap radio, like it's an old cheap truck. But man, is a good old truck. Sometimes the worst looking ones, in the way I've been most of my life, the worst looking ones are sometimes the best ones, aren't they? Or in my case, they are. I've had some vehicles that, I mean, you wonder how they started and run, and they turned out to be some of the best vehicles, I guess, I've ever had. I don't know why that is, but that old 307, I was going to Tim Dixon's one day in that old truck, and I was on a straightaway. It's a long way to Tim's from here, and I bet I was doing 90 miles an hour in that thing. I thought, let's just see what you can do, old 307, and I was doing 90, and I mean it took a while to get to 90, but I got to 90, and I slowed down. And I thought, what am I doing? But the old truck, I don't know. It just acted like it wanted to come together, wanted to come to life, and I felt good about saving it. I think I put new headlights in it and stuff like that. I remember, if you look at the pictures carefully, you'll see toward the end of that I changed hoods on it and put a flatter hood on it. And the hood, both the hoods look bad, but it's just a good old truck. And I messed around and sold that thing. I wonder now why I sold it. And I told Mrs. PIB today, I said, I miss Old Dookie. And let me tell you, if you'd like to watch videos of Old Dookie, I have a bunch of them. That's my very first video, actually. Old Dookie, 78 Chevy C10 truck, Old Dookie. Dookie, Old Dookie. It's my very first video. And you can hear me stumble around talking, trying to talk about the old truck. Once again, if you didn't know, I'd had knee surgery, and I was having to miss work because I couldn't walk. And doctor said it was time for me to get up and start walking, doing some things. And so, it was real painful for me to walk. And so my wife said, Mrs. PIB, she said, Jimmy, let's start you a YouTube channel, and you can go out here and walk around your truck and talk about it. And I was kind of in pain when I was doing it, so forgive me. My very first video for YouTube, and I was talking about Old Dookie. But it just changed dramatically. And I done experiments on that truck. I got a Mop and Glow floor wax and smeared it all over the hood and stuff, and just having fun. It's one of those trucks, that you can just have fun with. I mean, you can't hurt it. And I wound up putting boiled linseed oil on it. That's before I knew about penetrol, and put it on it. Man, it made the letters and everything pop. It's just a good old truck. I wish I had that truck back. I truly do. Had a black tailgate on it. It's just all mismatched, and but I guess it just wanted to stay alive, I guess. So I hope it's wherever it's at. I hope it's doing good. I hope somebody's taking care of it. It needed lots of work, lots of metal work done. The windows rolled up and down. I mean, it's everything I wanted in a truck. Windows work, brakes work. It runs and drives, shifts good, stops good, decent tires. But man, I just drove that truck all over the place, and I got thumbs up everywhere on that old truck. So you don't have to spend $50,000 or $35,000 or $12,000. You can have a beater truck like that, and I see how much. Let's figure out about how much I had in it. I'll say I had maybe 3 in it, counting the tires, wheels, different set of wheels and tires. Like I said, I didn't have a picture when I first got it. So it had some different wheels and tires, new headlights, motor and transmission, paying to have the motor and transmission put in. Can't remember if I put a wiper motor on or not, but the wiper motor worked. Heater, core, and a blower motor. Can't remember if I put a radiator in it. I don't think I did, but I'll say I had, I give $700 or $800 for it. I might have had $2,500 in it, maybe. I'm just guessing. The metal in the back. I forgot who doctored up the wires on it. Might have been Corey at Gas X Chop Shop. Chevrolet dash cover. I'll say $2,500 in the old truck. And man, that's a bargain. And to have such a good old truck, I mean, I hauled everything in it. I mean, it's already lowered. And anyway, I miss it. I've talked long enough, guys. Just look at the pictures. If you have to, pause, and I'll try to put them in somewhat order as I can remember it, but just pause and look at it. And that thing had the worst dash in it I'd ever seen. It's just the truck, nobody would have fixed it except a big dummy like me. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun out of that old truck. You're watching Prime at its best, and I've talked long enough. Just look at the pictures, and if you want to go back, just go to YouTube, type in Prime at its best, 1978 Chevy C10 truck, Old Dookie. Man, what a great truck. I'd love to have that one back. is a good one. I mean, it never gave me a bit of problems. Y'all have a good day. You're watching Primer is Best. I'm also on Facebook, Primer is Best, Instagram, Primer is Best, and got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget, and I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1. Hope y'all's having a blessed day today. Stay warm, stay safe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Let me know what you think about Old Dookie, and I'll see y'all later.